Today I want to talk about something that all human beings face at some point in their life. This is physical pain. Intense or lasting physical pain can be viewed as an opportunity for purification and transformation through the fire of awareness if we don't resist it. By meeting the pain with mindfulness, observation, and acceptance, we can disidentify from it and avoid multiplying the pain. I dealt with this in my own practice for some time. As some of you might know, I suffered from concussions throughout my life and dealt with severe headaches, pain in the head area. And I resisted and I resisted. I even went down the road of thinking that if I accept it, it will go away, the old story. And it wasn't until I couldn't deal with it any longer that I surrendered to it. I just stopped proliferating more and more stories and thoughts about, oh, it shouldn't be this way and why me and so on. And then it had the chance to dissolve. There's a story in the Pali Canon known as the Simile of the arrow that illustrates the importance of not multiplying our suffering through resistance and aversion. It does address the broader message of accepting and understanding suffering without creating additional layers of distress through the thought processes that the egoic mind will engage in. In the simile of the arrow, the Buddha tells a story of a person who's shot with a poisoned arrow. And instead of immediately, seeking medical help, the person wounded by the arrow insists on knowing the origin of the arrow, the name of the person who shot it, and all other really unnecessary details. The Buddha uses this story to illustrate that in the same way, when we encounter suffering or physical pain in this case, it's more important to address and alleviate it directly rather than getting caught up in speculative questions or resistance. The story emphasizes the need to avoid proliferating suffering through unnecessary mental processes and resistance. It highlights the importance of attending to the direct experience of the physical pain and understanding its nature rather than getting entangled in speculative or unhelpful thoughts that simply multiply it. When we experience intense physical pain or lasting kind of chronic pain, we can see it as part of the process of purification and really the burning away of the ego through the fire of awareness. Physical pain can be seen as part of our human experience, not something to get rid of or whine about, really. Instead, we can seize upon it as an opportunity for seeing our true nature. Just as with anxiety or other difficult emotions, intense physical pain can be met with awareness rather than resistance. Instead of trying to suppress it or escape the pain, we can bring our full attention to it, observing it with curiosity and openness. This act of consciously experiencing the pain without judgment, without resistance, allows us to understand its nature and its impact on our body and mind. By directing the light of awareness onto the physical pain, we can begin to disidentify from it. We recognize that the pain is a temporary sensation arising within our body rather than an inherent, unchanging aspect of who we are, of our identity. And this shift in perspective can help loosen the grip of the ego, which tends to strongly identify with bodily sensations and in particular physical pain. So through this process of observing and accepting the physical pain, we create kind of a space for it to be understood and transformed, again, through the fire of awareness. This doesn't mean that the pain will necessarily disappear, but it allows us to relate to it in a different way and to not multiply it. We may discover that there are layers of stories that exacerbate the pain, what the Buddha called papancha, or mental proliferation. In this process, the intensity of the physical pain can serve as a catalyst for self-inquiry. We may uncover deeper layers of conditioning, attachments, identifications that contribute to the experience of pain. Through the fire of awareness, these aspects can be brought to light and ultimately released, moving us closer to touching our true nature. It's important to note that applying this notion of purification and the burning away of the ego to personal pain doesn't mean dismissing or disregarding the need for appropriate medical care or pain management techniques. We still do these things, but in the moment that we are experiencing the pain, we can relate to it in a different way rather than multiplying and proliferating it. I hope if you're suffering with intense physical pain that you found this helpful as I did as I moved through it. And if you did, please like the video, and I appreciate the subscriptions. And remember, I've got the free ebook that you can access in the description below. Bye for now.